Hey guys, what's up? It's Greg Srzavosty with the Find Your Films YouTube channel. For more movie reviews as well as movie interviews, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for all your support. Now, are you a big Hilary Swank fan? If you are, I might have a really good movie for you to watch starting in theaters this Friday, September 1st. It's called The Good Mother. It's a thriller, it's a character-driven drama, and the filmmaker, Miles Joris Perifit, tries to fit them both, tries to mix family drama and the thriller elements to make The Good Mother. And for the most part, it works, and it works really well. I was on board for almost all of the 89 minutes. I would say 88 out of the 89 minutes, I was locked in. I was ready for a really great thriller. What I got was a pretty good thriller, not great. So I'm going to tell you guys in a set. I would recommend it. Okay, I would recommend this film, but I would say I'm going to explain why it's a pretty good but not great thriller family drama. It's a little bit of a recommend, solid film, but I'm going to get to that point in a second. So Hilary Swank plays this journalist, played Marissa Bennings. The movie's set in 2016 Albany, and she's a person who you're introduced to. She's an alcoholic, and her days of journalism may be behind her because of her addiction to alcohol. She does not get along with her coworkers. Her coworkers are younger generation, and they're actually now journalists who are living in the digital age where their stories, they're trying to farm for clicks. They want stories that actually are more, just sexier. And she seems to be, at least Marissa, played by Hilary Swank, she seems to be more of a true and diehard journalist from back in the day. So she's more of a newspaper journalist, and she doesn't get along with, there's not too many scenes in this newsroom, but you can tell that she's sort of a lone wolf and maybe an antiquated journalist because this is now the digital age. And these media journalists are now, a lot of them are farming for clicks, or their stories are more tailored towards the audience. So she's a sort of a different kind of person as opposed to the rest of the people at her job. So that she's a very interesting character, Marissa. But the thing is, this is not a journalism movie. It centers on how her youngest son is murdered during the dead of night by some random stranger. And she tries to get to the bottom of why her estranged son, who you're going to learn throughout the narrative, this is not a spoiler, that he had problems with his mother, problems with his family. He was addicted to drugs, and he also had a girlfriend played by Olivia Cooke. Olivia Cooke, her name in the film is, I believe, Paige. Yes, the dead son's girlfriend is named Paige, played by Olivia Cooke from Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. And yeah, really love that film. But Olivia Cooke is very good as Paige. She bonds temporarily with the mother because they're both trying to find the killer of her son and Paige's boyfriend. So that's how they team up, and they get to know each other throughout the narrative. And actually, for me, that is the most interesting part of The Good Mother, because Olivia Cooke and Hilary Swank give such great performances in this 89-minute thriller. I wish actually there was a little bit more development with their characters and their relationships with one another, just more heart-to-heart bonding sequences. But the moments they had together really crackled and popped and was really well done. Worth seeing it just if you're a fan of Olivia Cooke and Hilary Swank. Again, they're both really great in this. I also like Jack Reynor. Jack Reynor plays the eldest son of Marissa, and he is an Albany police officer. Hopefully the son is going to track down his brother's killer and solve the investigation and put his mother at ease and put his dead brother's girlfriend at ease as well. That's pretty much the construct of The Good Mother. It really looks like a thriller, and there are thriller elements. Hopper Penn plays Ducky, and Ducky is the best friend of the son, the late son, and he is prime suspect number one. He might have been the person who killed his best friend. So a lot of things happen. Of course, as any kind of thriller, there's going to be twists or surprises. The filmmaker, Miles Joris Perifit, I'm really butchering the name and I apologize for that. He doesn't really go for the thriller Hitchcocking elements, even though there are some really standout sequences. The movie is really more of a slow burn drama than anything else, because there's not a lot of, there is tension in the film, but most of the narrative is pretty much a flat line. It just goes in a very somber, morose pacing. And that's intended because you're supposed to get into the mindset of Marissa, because She quit smoking, but she didn't quit drinking. She's very unhealthy, and she's living with a lot of loss, obviously with the loss of her son and the loss of her husband. That's alluded to at the beginning of the film. So she is in pain, and she uses substances to dull her pain, and she's not really doing well at her job. So the thing is, the movie is paced in a very downbeat fashion, insular fashion, and I liked it. I was cool with it. Everything was methodical, slow burn until the ending. And the development between Olivia Cooke's character and Swank, with whatever they had together and individually, I found that interesting as well. Uncovering who did it or who the killer was not as interesting, and unraveling the mystery. I wasn't really that invested in that part. I was more invested in the characters and their relationships with one another. And when everything unfolds, I was fine with it. I was fine with everything about this movie, and I was ready to say this is an excellent thriller. Go see The Good Mother. Great performances by Swank and Cook, and I like Jack Reynor as well in it. Yeah, all of this is true. Everything is true except the ending of The Good Mother, the final moment of The Good Mother. I understand where the filmmaker was going. Gives it sort of a open-ended ending, but I wanted something more clear-cut at the end. You might disagree, because the way the movie ends, you can actually go two different routes within your interpretation. And I like it when filmmakers leave endings to our interpretation. But for the way this movie was paced and the looking at the life of Marissa, you get to really know her by the final frame. I wanted that final explanation. That's just me. So again, you may like it more than me just because of that ending, but yeah, I was slightly disappointed. So instead of giving it 4 stars, I'm going to give The Good Mother 3.5 out of 5 stars. Solid recommendation. It's in theaters Friday, September 1st. Again, good performances all around. It's set in Albany, New York. Give credit to the filmmakers involved in this movie, because Albany, wherever it was shot, you actually get a good feel of the actual location where they worked and a good feel for the environment. So it's a very rich movie in the atmosphere, and the acting is top notch, and the tamped down atmosphere where everything is downbeat and morose. They nailed it. They nailed everything, and you might even think the final moments, they nailed that as well. I feel it was a misfire. All that said, it's just 1 minute or maybe even a few seconds out of an 89-minute film that I enjoyed. Again, 3.5 stars for The Good Mother. Tell me what you think of this movie. Did you like Hilary Swank's performance? Olivia Cooke, did you like her as well? Or most importantly, did this movie work for you? All right, guys, thanks again so much for supporting me here on the Find Your Films YouTube channel. Also, on a weekly basis, I do a podcast called Cinematics with Eric Holmes and Bruce Perky. You can check that channel out as well. We have our own threesome movie reviews on that Cinematics YouTube channel. Again, thanks again so much. Find Your Films YouTube channel. I also have a website. All that information will be in the notes below. Take care. And most importantly, I hope you have a good time watching The Good Mother. Take care.